be in such good company today. It was quite a surprise. I just arrived in India a couple of days back. My grandma is ailing, so I'm visiting her. But this meeting was a walk down memory lane. It's so good to see Harishori Prabhu, Pranav Prabhu, Balaram Lila Prabhu, Madhavananda Prabhu, Sumanta Prabhu. I saw Gauranga Prabhu briefly in the beginning. And there are two people I am deeply missing and remembering. The first is Tamal Krishna Goswami, who got me involved in all of this. It was his idea that I go and collect rare books across Bengal, study them and get my PhD and engage in interfaith work in the West. And I tried to fulfill his instructions to the best of my ability, despite my shortcomings. And I still fondly remember the time that Pranav Prabhu came and stayed with us at our home in Calcutta, and his wife, Kamala Priya Mataji, had briefly joined us. And at that point, I was already doing that work, and he came up with this exciting proposal that, there's this building in Hajra, and there's the possibility of having a Bhaktivedanta library. That's what it was called at that point. And of course, Harishori Prabhu and I knew each other for much longer than that. He had come to our house for Snan Yatra festival, and he was giving lectures for us on youth forum programs. And so when that opportunity came up, I saw that as divine intervention, as divine gift. And so I jumped in. And the second person that comes to mind today, who really kind of helped us get started, was Bhakti Vibhut Bodhayan Maharaj, who was at that moment the custodian of the library of Sundarananda Vidyavinod Prabhu. It was, as Harishori Prabhu mentioned, supposed to go to England, but it somehow ended up in his care. And I was somehow allowed to play the role of going and speaking with him and saying, Maharaj, this is your library. We will remain stewards and custodians. And he was very pleased. And I still remember Harishori Prabhu, you signed an agreement with him, and I was there, and we called the bus from the BBT, and we piled it up with boxes, and we drove to Calcutta. And I think the pictures are there somewhere. I saw them a few years back at the BRC, and that's how the library got started.
Yeah, we showed them at the start of the session.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
With all of us.
You were there.
All of us sitting on the boxes, and then this must have been Krishna's desire. Otherwise, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains Krishna Shakti bina nahe tahar pravartan. Such things don't happen without Krishna's direct empowerment. So we've come a long way. 15 years is quite a milestone. And not a lot of projects sustain this long, especially academic projects don't yield direct results, short-term results. I remind myself that when Rupa Goswami was sitting and writing his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he didn't have an audience. When Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was collecting his books, they didn't necessarily have funding or an audience. And so the work we do yields results that we do not enjoy or see in our lifetimes necessarily. But it's still important to plant mango trees, for example, that continue beyond our lifetimes. If you go to Advaita Acharya's home in Shantipur, you'd notice the mango groves in which Mahaprabhu used to eat are still around, and we still relish those fruits. So similarly, all of us in this room will be gone one day, but what we are leaving behind will be taken up by more blessed, more competent people in the future. And I think this knowledge base that we have is the most important foundation of our movement. And there are many projects, and we need more. We need an ecosystem of various projects